Now we'll call the June 9th, 2020 regular meeting of council to order. Thank you for the Zoom protocols. Item 2.1, adoption of this evening's agenda, please. Councillor Pearson, Councillor Blanchette, are there any additions? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries. Time for 3.1, public comments. Any public comments received this week?
There were no public comments received this week.
Thank you. Item 4.1, adoption of the minutes of the May 26, 2020 regular meeting of council. Councillor McLean, Councillor G, are there any errors or omissions arising? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries. 7.1, under correspondence for action, we have a request for support from the Valemount Curling Club that the application by the Valemount Curling Club to the 2020 Northern Development Initiative Trust Community Halls and Recreation Facilities Grant funding program for their plant replacement project. What is council's wish? Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G, any discussion? All in favor? Carries. 7.2, request to council Trans Mountain expansion project that council facilitates a meeting between Trans Mountain representatives and local contractors. Councillor McLean, Councillor Pearson, any discussion around this? Trans Mountain has reached out to administration, myself, having a preemptive meeting on Friday with their procurement team. We'll attempt to report back out to that associated group of contractors over the weekend, actually Friday afternoon, as soon as they get off the telephone, to see what they would like to do in terms of a coordinated response. Is that, how's that sound to council?
Great.
Okay. Councillor McKinney.
I would like to see them report out to the public. There's more than that group of contractors are upset and would like to see this addressed. There's also individuals who would like to see this addressed as well. So I would like to see it brought out right into the public, not just to the people who inquired.
Fair enough. I will endeavor to have that wish pushed upon Trans Mountain.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All in favor? Carries. Anything out of the ring file folks would like to draw upon? Item 9.1, accounts payable report for May 2020 be received. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G, any questions for administration? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries. 9.2, building inspection report, May 2020 report be received. Councillor Pearson, Councillor G, any questions, comments around the building inspection report? All in favor? Carries. 9.3, Robson Valley Community Services license to occupy, Councillor Blanchette.
I need to recuse myself as I'm chair of RVCS.
Thank you. Councillor G.
I also need to recuse myself as I'm an employee of RVCS.
Thank you. They are in the waiting room, Mr. Administrator. Thank you. Recommendation from staff here that Chief Administrator Officer be assigned to, authorized to sign on behalf of the village a license of occupation, or a license to occupy, sorry, back to my mining days, agreement for RVCS for the use of village property located directly east of Valemount Secondary School, legally referred to as Lot C, District Lot 7355, Caribou District Plan, BCP 01223, for the purpose of building and operating a community garden space. What's council's wish? Councillor Pearson? Councillor McLean, seconder on the recommendation. Any discussion? Councillor Pearson?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, having walked in there and checked out the work that's already been started and cleaning it up, and that I think it's going to be an amazing little property for the community. So.
I had a question to administration regarding access to water. Mr. Robinson, could you kindly bring council up to speed regarding the two options?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor. So currently, RVCS has an agreement with the high school to utilize the water coming off the irrigation system. So they've already established that water is available for them throughout the growing season. If for some reason Robson Valley wanted to move towards having their own water there at the site, there is a water line or water main fairly close to the site that they would be able to, or Public Works be able to tap into in order to bring over to the site. The cost for that would be approximately $1,800, but it would also include a standpipe there. So,
okay. Thank you. Any further discussion on 9.3? Councillor Pearson.
Yeah, just a quick comment too, in talking to a couple of the volunteers that were in there working too. I'm not sure where they're going to go with it, but they have some concerns on the stability of the access, being that is strictly a sand path going down there, and it stays pretty solid when it's wet, but as conditions dry, that sand softens up. So down the road, there may be some inquiries about potentially trying to firm that road up for access. So,
Mr. Administrator, on that comment, if I know there, a lot of that community garden space was leveled, built by the hands of volunteers. If they were to secure a skid steer / contractor willing to do it, do you have any objection to them not maybe adding material to that access, but at least blading it to the point where they get some compaction?
I'm not an expert, Mr. Mayor, so I would want to defer that to Public Works and have them respond to that. I think that'd be the most appropriate way of going ahead.
Is that okay, Councillor Pearson?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not sure where it's going to go as far as a request to, because I'm not sure if that would be a future roadway into the Ash Street property. But if so, I mean, we don't want to put the cart before the horse and build a road before services are dug in as well. So,
yeah, certainly not putting pavement down right away. Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It actually is a designated roadway. That area there has been designated. So if we were to build it out, it would actually have to go in that space. For now, at least, until the OCP or zoning bylaw is rewritten, that might change things.
Okay. Councillor Pearson, you're okay with that?
Yep, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Carries. Just wait a second for the waiting room occupants to come by. Did they get a license to occupy the waiting room? Councillors Blanchette and G, you're back with no difficulties?
Yes, thank you.
So for your info, council did support the staff recommendation.
Great, thank you.
9.4, municipal land surveying, request for quotes. A couple of recommendations here that WSP be awarded the 2020 municipal land surveying contract with a budget not to exceed $20,000, and that in the event that the village and WSP are unable to agree upon the terms and condition, that Highmark Survey and Engineering be awarded the 2020 municipal land clearing contract. Land surveying, not land clearing, sorry. Land surveying contract with a budget not to exceed $20,000. Councillor Pearson, Councillor G, any discussion around the motion / recommendations? Councillor Pearson?
We're doing these as two separate
Mr. Administrator?
Through your mayor, Mr. Mayor, if you would mind, just one motion. And the reason being is that technically it is all one motion. It's that we're looking to award it to WSP, but should our negotiations with them not work out, we would like to move immediately to Highmark Survey.
Okay.
So as the motion read, any discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Carries. 9.5, support from the province for destination marketing organizations. That this report be received for information and that council gratefully acknowledge the financial support of the province of British Columbia. It's council's wish. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G. Any discussion? Councillor Blanchette.
Will we be sending out a letter of appreciation or a thank you or anything? Great.
Yes, absolutely. I had a meeting with Councillor Minister Barry yesterday with the RMI mayors, verbally recognizing the contributions of the province, but certainly we will be looking for clarification. Mr. Administrator, if you can get a hold of ADM staff, if they need any verbiage, signage, any sort of thing like that to be placed at the Visitor Information Center, that'd be great. But I will be sending a written thank you to the minister for sure.
Great, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Carries. 10.1, we have an official community plan, OCP, zoning bylaw amendment for proposed development at 1451 Fifth Avenue. Councillor Blanchette.
I need to recuse myself again as I'm chair of RVCS.
Thank you. Councillor G.
I also need to recuse myself as an employee of RVCS.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Administrator. Recommendations here that Village of Valemount zoning bylaw number 610, 2007, amendment bylaw number 812, 2020 be given first and second reading. We'll start with there. There you go, Councillor Pearson, Councillor McLean. Any discussion on zoning amendment 610 bylaw amendment number 812? Hearing none, all in favor? And that it carries. And that the Village of Valemount official community plan bylaw number 595, 2006, amendment bylaw 814, 2020 be given first and second reading. Councillor Pearson, Councillor McLean, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries. Let's take a pause for a minute. Councillors Blanchette, G, you're back.
Yep.
Great. First and second reading were given.
Thank you.
Number 10.2, Village of Valemount Water Supply Regulations Amendment number 822, 2020 be adopted as presented. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor G, any discussion on final adoption? All in favor? Carries. 10.3, Village of Valemount Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw 823, 2020 be adopted as presented. Councillor McLean, Councillor Pearson, any discussion on final adoption? All in favor? It carries. 10.4, Village of Valemount Bylaw Enforcement and Dispute Adjudication Amendment Bylaw 824, 2020 be rescinded. Now be adopted as presented. Councillor G, Councillor Pearson. I have both words on my agenda. Any discussion around final adoption?
So I'm just a little bit confused on what we're doing there with this.
We are adopting as presented.
Okay.
Any further questions for administration in and around the recommendation? All in favor? It carries. Time for council reports under 11.1. Councillor Pearson?
All I have to report for this meeting was tourism meeting on June 2nd, continuing discussions on how to proceed forward in these times of pandemic and promoting tourism at the same time. So that's all I have for this 2 weeks.
Definitely a challenge. Councillor G?
I don't have anything to report for this 2 weeks. Thank you.
Councillor McLean?
I too have no official duties to report. Next week, I will be attending 2 teleconferences for the Columbia River Treaty Local Government Committee meeting, and I'm going to also attend the BC Hydro review process next week. So that'll be my big time. That's it.
I'll see you on the call with BC Hydro.
Great.
Councillor Blanchett?
I do have a few things, but first I want to send out my deepest condolences to Shirley Bond and their family and their friends. It's a huge loss. I've been getting tons of emails. The best one I've got this week, and I'd like to encourage as many people to join this webinar as possible. It's the first BC Rural and First Nations Health and Wellness Summit. It's June 29th and 30th. It'll be in the morning, both mornings. It'll be a Zoom event. And what it's doing, it's giving community members, local officials, nonprofits, basically everybody in the community, an opportunity to connect with health partners in other rural communities in BC. And it gives us a voice in helping in improving rural access, quality, and efficiency. So I would encourage as many people to join this as possible. There is a registration date of June 21st. So if anybody wants to contact me by phone or email, please do so, and we'll get you all the information you need. Okay.
Awesome. Every councillor. I have signed up for that.
Yep.
Back a couple weeks. Where are we? June. There we go. Sorry. Normally I'm got this stuff written down. And Ms. Shepherd, I will forward that to you. Sorry. There we go. Fairly quiet. On the 29th, I had an update call with MLA Bond and the Highway 1697 sort of representatives. Later that day, a discussion with Superintendent Richardson of the school district around parks, how we can coordinate with that, parks and fields. June 1, participated in the Valemount Secondary School Virtual Awards, representing the Columbia Basin Trust there. June 2nd, had a briefing with Emergency Medical Services locally. June 4th, briefing with Minister Robinson and special guest Premier Horgan. Was a enlightening round table with the northern communities and their perspectives around phase 2 and as we head into phase 3 of the BC Restart Plan. June 8th, meeting with Minister Bear of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the RMI communities. Again, just getting a sense of how phase 2 is working for the resort municipalities and what it looks like to go into phase 3. There was mention of a soft date or a soft period starting in July government did not have a concrete date. Of course, they will be relying ever so much on Dr. Henry. And then today, another briefing with Emergency Medical Services. As travel is being opened up, BCAS, Mr. Administrator Derek Paramedic Chief McClure got a hold of me after. Their call volume's getting up. Really, really quiet over the last couple of months, but now seeing an increase in call-outs due to increased travel. So interesting there. Motion, please, to receive council reports. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor McLean. Any questions for any of the reports? Councillor Blanchette?
Just, you mentioned that you had a meeting about the opening of the parks. Are we going to be opening our Centennial Park?
Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good news. We've been waiting for our signage to arrive. It sounds like the signage will arrive this week, so we should be able to open the parks on Monday. So the parks and the public washrooms will be opened at that time. The playgrounds because the parks are already open.
Thank you.
Yeah, School District 57 want to do a coordinated opening with the District of Mackenzie, Village of McBride, etc. Looks like the timing might be right for that signage. Any further questions or discussion around council reports? All in favor of receipt? Carries. Anything to pull out of the calendar of events? Not a whole lot of events arising out of phase 2, I can tell you that. Not proceeding to in camera this evening, so I'll call for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Pearson.